Cheekysport on Ritz.
Alright, you are now tuned into Ritz FM and this is Cheeky Sport. Happy New Year, and you have myself, Big J.
Yeah, with Cheekysport Happy New Year.
Relegation Jaik, Happy New Year as well.
2020 new hairline Joel. All I'm saying is, innit, the rumours are true that I come back from Turkey, but we don't know because I got this hat.
Actually...
No, we don't know.
Go on, do you know what's going to happen?
No, we don't know.
I'm going to Jaik to catch your hat.
If we get 10k likes on this video, Joel will take his hat off and we can see if it's true.
Wait.
Chris isn't here today because he's too busy sending for Stormzy.
For real.
Nah, he's with Gigs. He's with
Chris,
Gigs.
a.k.a. Wiley.
Hey, if you guys don't know, Chris is definitely the Wiley.
He is.
He's the Wiley.
He's mad similar.
Jermaine. One day, you and me, Jermaine.
You don't know nothing about hip-hop, Jai.
You're a baby in this.
You're a baby.
You're baby, boy.
Yeah, he loves that. He loves that one. Anyway, big up Chris every single time. Obviously,
Yeah, shout out Chris.
I'll be real with you, man. Yeah, you see the FA Cup thing. I'm not even gonna talk about that yet. Obviously,
Bro, you got to put a spec on it, man.
We won it the most times in Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying?
no one
The
cares.
magic of the FA Cup. Of course you don't care, mate.
No one cares.
Of course you don't care.
Here we go.
When was the last time you made it? When was the last time? You shut your mouth, yeah? You shut your mouth.
You're Division 1,
shut your mouth, mate. Yeah? Division 1.
Division 1.
Hey, listen. Also, can I just take this time to say, plug our brand new podcast on our channel, yeah? Big up the Tap In Show. Podcast, yeah?
Yeah.
Big 'em up.
You see them man there? Nah, it's not like this.
Yeah.
shoulder was nice and rested the other day when I went
That man
there.
took football, innit?
That man took football.
And just in case you're not clear, it's on our channel. Make sure you show them love and support every single time.
YouTuber's kicking in now, isn't it?
Yeah,
YouTuber Joel.
Yeah, come on. Do you know what I mean?
Hey,
Check it
smash
out.
that subscribe button. Smash it.
Smash that.
Smash it.
Smash that bell.
That's
Smash
how
that
you know
bell.
Akeem's not subscribed. You couldn't even say, smash that subscribe button. Come on, bro.
What's it? What is it? Billy Madison. Today, Junior.
That's a good film.
Good
Good film.
All right, listen. So I thought I'd
Alright,
start
so
with the
the
new
next
year.
one.
I thought I'd start with the new year just because of what actually happened in regards to.
Because it's New Year, yeah.
No.
It sounds like
Akeem's got jokes.
I was talking about the Arsenal Man United game, bro.
Okay.
Because that's the one that they know this Arsenal man.
Do you know what? Okay.
Why are we still talking about that game?
Listen,
Because the first game of the year.
No. Do you know what? We talked about this on the show last year. Obviously 2 weeks ago, but last year sounds nicer.
Yeah.
And I was saying with Arsenal fans, they get gassed too quickly.
You did say
And
that.
Look what's happened.
Literally,
The
you
way
said that.
I saw the TL Arsenal fans reacting, I've genuinely thought you won the Champions
It's
League.
embarrassing.
Fam.
Embarrassing.
How could
Do you know
Chris?
what I mean?
How could Chris say the infamous words in the group chat? We're back.
We're back. Man said we're back.
He said it
He said we're
When
back.
you see man, they're putting we're back. I'm like,
Joe, can I ask you a question?
no.
Joe, can I ask you a question? You're not calling Arteta Tet, are you?
I started the whole Pep
here we go.
Guardiola
Pep
thing.
Guardiola.
That's
Yeah, I
embarrassing.
started it, mate.
Bro, he
Pep
hasn't done
Guardiola.
anything.
So what? So what?
Why?
Do you know what, yeah? I reckon, yeah, sometimes it's also about the support you give your manager. Because if you look at Klopp, yeah, he was considered a legend, yeah, after he lost that UEFA League Cup final from early.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need someone to gas you up enough.
Did
yeah?
you not gas up
but-
Unai
no,
Emery?
no,
Did you
no,
not
but
gas
it's-
up Unai?
No. Well, who?
But it's
No,
not
the
consistent.
Arsenal.
It's not consistent, though. That's the problem. It's not consistent. You guys with one game get gas, go, yeah, we're back in the manager.
No.
And as soon as you draw
But-
home to
look,
Palace,
look,
you're
look,
like, he's got to go.
Jake, let me tell you something, Jake.
I said, Jake,
Time to
I said,
go.
Joe.
Let me tell you something,
He said
Jake.
Jake.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Jake.
I think the follicles are still
Wait,
messing with the
Jake,
brain.
Jake, let me tell you something. It's all rumours. Let me tell you something, Jake. Yeah, you can't say that because you know what it's like when you got a new manager and he's actually playing with an identity.
No, I
We've
don't.
been
He's not
missing
playing
an
with
identity.
He's not
playing with identity.
What are you talking about?
He's not playing
You
with identity.
definitely, your team definitely ain't got
Wait,
an
wait, wait,
identity.
wait, wait,
Your
wait,
team
But when they
definitely ain't
but
got
when
an
they turned
identity.
up,
Let's
when
take
they
the
turned
technology.
up,
Who?
when Oli won, 13 in a row?
There was no
there was
identity.
no
Yeah.
identity then.
Look,
Same
why?
with you
He
lot,
was
though.
winning
manager
games.
bounce.
He was winning games. Don't say new manager bounce,
So
yeah?
it is.
Yeah.
Because you guys have just been bouncing around
Who
with
drew against
results recently
Bournemouth?
anyway.
Bournemouth.
Who
They
us?
drew to Bournemouth, yeah.
You did
Yeah,
embarrassing.
but hold on a
I beat-
second.
I
But
beat
when
a tired United
but
side.
you got to remember, sometimes it takes a while for the philosophy to come in.
Ah.
You lot were drinking that Space Jam water, yeah, and then you guys went mad for like
Man
13
said
games.
Space Jam
But then
water.
after what? It's all about seeing how we're playing. You've seen how Aubameyang and them are putting in work. They actually want to play now.
Oh, you watch the
Let's be
training?
real though. Let's
They
be real
wanna
though.
play now.
Don't agree with
No,
me.
no, no,
What?
wait. I'll be real. They have been pressing more, but do you see how tired they get at 70 minutes?
I know. Bro, it's embarrassing.
Hey,
It's like the man that ran 90.
You see Bear.
You see Bear, man, like.
You need them
Wheezing.
Pokemon potions.
I saw Aubameyang, yeah. I saw Aubameyang try to press, so he came left back. And he let the guy just skip past it.
I saw that because they were going like, and Aubameyang is covering a left back. It's just him
weren't doing
there,
that.
delirious. Like, I don't know what's going on. You know, you got the scars around. You know, you got the scars like spinning around the head, like Crash Bandicoot. It was like that.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
He looked like a boxer in the 10th round, bro.
He looked like Anthony Yarn against Kovalev in the last round.
Even that Chelsea game, the way the Arsenal team were deflated, I'll tell you, man, I stand up.
Yeah,
man.
what you did?
Stand up. Stop trying to hit it.
After 60 minutes, that's where it's nuts. The last half an hour is peak.
Right. Arteta was hogging that line though, wasn't he? He was right up on the line.
He was.
Yeah, of course. Looking
You know
good for the
what I mean?
cameras. Looking good for the cameras.
No, but again,
That is number. That's what he's learnt from Pep. He learned how to look good for the cameras.
No. You know what? I agree with Akeem. No, I agree with
I
Akeem.
agree.
They
I
know what they
agree.
did. Because after the Chelsea game, he's all picking up play.
And do you know what makes?
Do you know what? It was a cup final.
the camera? Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know? Do you know? It's
Oh, yeah, I thought you
disgusting. Do
drew
you know what?
it
It's
yesterday as
disgusting.
well, yeah.
Do you know what's disgusting at full time? Just that hugging of players. Conveniently in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
Why? Klopp, Pep, and now Arteta. Now
Maybe
does
only
it.
got a
It's sad.
Solskjaer should start hugging these players, mate. Because
It's sad.
all he's doing in the change
I
room.
keep telling you,
Look,
Joel,
look,
we're gonna
look.
get to that. We're gonna get.
We'll get to that bit. We'll
We'll
get to that.
Really? That was a terrible game, wasn't it?
Let's not talk about that.
Do the impression.
No,
we'll get to that.
no.
Do the impression.
Not
Do
do
the impression.
not do
come
my
back to
manager
it.
dirty like that.
Do the impression.
Because you weren't doing the Unai Emery impression, so don't do that. to him.
10,000 likes, yeah, and I'll send you the voice note for the voice note.
Everything's coming out at 10,000.
10,000 likes, baby.
Oh my word! All right,
10,000 likes.
10,000 likes. Hella reveals. You better share that.
Whatever reveals.
Hella. Hey, 10,000 likes. I'll give you guys 10,000 likes.
I swear, I'll play the voice note. It's hilarious. Oh my days.
Nah, he's gonna do it in a sec. He'll do it in a sec.
Aye,
But
double
wrap
up.
it up on Arsenal. End of the
Yeah.
day, it's too early to talk.
Way
I
too
think
early.
it's embarrassing to give a man a standing ovation at 60 minutes when he scored a FIFA goal. Like that is a FIFA. And the reason why, and a lot of people were confused by why I called it a FIFA goal because it's a guaranteed anyone could score that.
Yeah,
When
if
you
he misses
when
that-
you do a pullback, all you gotta do is just side foot
No,
in.
but if he misses that, everyone gets onto him.
Bro,
He has to bury that.
it's an easy goal. It's the
Do you know
easiest
what I mean?
goal ever.
Do you know what? Look, I don't want to be negative about Arsenal because I am quite often. This is quite obvious on this show. But again, with Pepe, they're gassing him up again. It's just, he scored one. Like when he scored them 2 free kicks, was it 2 free kicks against that Portuguese team?
Yeah.
They were like, look. And then he went quiet.
And
for
I said it
months.
before.
And
Like
then he scored.
I said it before. Until you score 10 goals, you shouldn't be celebrating.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a
But
celebration.
no, to be fair, like he
Your
did-
celebration should be clapping
Why do you
hands
say that?
and
Shout out
hugging.
Pepe.
Why do you say that?
Pepe
Bro,
did
What kind of dumb rule is that? That's why they call you
Pepe
delusional.
played
No,
well.
bro.
I can't-
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
because
knock
Akeem said
If you don't,
score
if you
more than
haven't,
10 goals.
if you haven't scored 10 goals, you shouldn't have a celebration.
Hey,
Fix.
say that to my brother Cantwell. Cantwell's high, Every time he bangs for Norwich, he's like, I got next over there. Hey, big up bro, because he has mad flavour.
Oh, yeah, no, he does.
he does his
He
thing.
definitely goes to the local yard shop in Anglia. You know what I mean? You know, he's got a little spot. Yeah, I'll get a little saltfish
Man
fritter
said
with
it's
that,
angry,
please.
you know.
It was a great match, wasn't it?
He's bringing it. He's playing it.
Oh,
I wish 10,000 likes.
Yeah,
Why was it
10,000
10,000
likes.
likes.
Sneak preview.
Is everything coming out now?
It's sneak preview.
Hold on.
So, you're like, oh, you know, that was a great match.
Much.
No, you're mocking it.
No, but you see, but no, Pepe played well. Don't get me wrong,
That was
yeah.
a great match.
Now you see, Pepe played well.
He did.
But
Well, who's
again,
he against?
They're gassing
Who's he
it again.
against?
United,
A terrible
Hey,
Luke
bro,
Shaw.
I didn't
They're
know
gassing
Akeem
it again.
hated Luke Shaw so much.
No. Luke Shaw.
I beg you, talk about his football and nothing else.
Nah, Pepe said sit down.
Thanks.
Huh?
Please.
Talk about who?
Luke Shaw's football and nothing else.
What do you mean?
I'm worried for him. No jokes. No, Jack, I'm not laughing.
but-
I'm being dead
Jack
serious.
is about to lay off that
Yeah,
free
no,
joke,
I'm
bro.
being
What
dead
about
serious.
But Luke
no,
Shaw-
No, wait, hold on.
no,
What do you mean by his football and nothing else? What else is there to talk
I
about?
feel
What,
like,
his weight?
yeah. No, yeah, I feel
What
like
do you mean?
mentally.
No, but I mean, why do you?
No, but no, I feel like mentally the guy gets attacked
He does, and I feel sorry for
so
him.
much.
That's actually true.
What do you mean by
It's-
attacked?
Bro.
What you mean, like,
People
by the
don't-
media?
Bro, put it this way, yeah?
No, I'm not having that. Do you know I'm not having that? Hold on. Okay, go on.
Online, everyone goes
Do you know I'm not accepting that though?
Bro, why?
Wait.
It's
Wait.
We can find it.
Firstly, I do agree that is the case. But in this era, in this era, players, even Man United players as well, is specifically over the last 5 to 10 years even, has had heavy criticism.
I agree.
And none of you guys were saying that about Ashley Young.
We say that about,
abuse.
no, Ashley Young don't get abused like that.
Bro,
Ashley Young's our guy.
Are you mad? Ashley Young has got so much abuse. He's not on Instagram or Twitter. Do you understand? Do you understand that most man? Do you understand that him, Lukaku, about 5 Man United players, Phil Jones, none of them tweet or on social media. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
They're not on it because of the abuse.
Yeah.
That's why they're not on it.
Yeah,
the only
I
ones that are on it is like Maguire, Rashford, Lingard.
But I
Most of them are
agree.
not
But
on
what
it.
I'm saying, Akeem, we
Because
can
of
also argue 5 years ago people didn't understand the effects of this. Like we're in a world where people evolve. Do you see what I'm saying? I know it's a little bit serious in that, but I'm just saying I'd rather, don't get me wrong, banter's banter, innit? Like we do that as well, Cheeky Sport, but I'm actually seriously a little bit concerned for them kind of man. I saw Pogba getting mad abuse, bruv, yeah. My man didn't even play the game, cuz.
That's the problem, but that's the problem with social media in general.
Yeah.
It's all about who can get the funniest
Little
little meme, and that's where it escalates and it goes out of control, and that's just how that generation operates.
Unfortunately.
And it's unfortunate because everything's so visible nowadays. Whereas you can cuss a man in the pub back in the day, and they wouldn't hear about it unless there's maybe one or two chants were said in the crowd. But nowadays, because everything's so active and things circulate and retweet and get bigger and bigger, even if you're trying to avoid it as a player, you'll
100%.
Saying that though, let's be honest with you. In football terms, he looked very unsure.
Bro.
I'm just saying.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
But look,
he
that
did.
old chestnut.
He did.
Look,
He did. He looked like he did not know whether. All I could think of was when Jose Mourinho said, "I had to think for him." And honestly, I looked at him and I was thinking, how do you as a professional footballer, after all these years of playing the game, not know where to stand?
Let me
Try
give my opinion on Luke Shaw. Yeah, look.
Because you tweeted like 5 minutes in, get him off
No,
the
do you know
pitch
why?
now.
And he was right.
Do you know why?
And he was actually
Do you know
right.
why? All banter aside, with Luke Shaw. How did you see? You don't go on Twitter like that. But anyway, all banter aside with Luke Shaw, he has not got the footballing brain or mentality that is not only required for Man United, but on a serious note. Listen.
I'm not arguing about you. I just found out we got Man City away in the draw.
Yeah. Oh, shame.
Well, you didn't care about it.
Why is that unfair?
Well, you didn't care about the competition, Jaik.
I know he likes away games, but
that's dead, man.
So you can win that.
No, well, Man City away, we'll get pumped.
Any game you can win. Anyway, bro.
Anyway.
Long story short,
Losing
in a sentence, just to sum it up.
That's what Coleman's teaching them, man.
Some players, some players play
That was
football.
our manager 10 years ago.
Hey, some players play football, because they are just good at it, and they don't love it. And I don't think.
Yeah, he
I
does,
don't think he loves the game.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have a footballing. He's not obsessed with it like certain players. You can see certain players are practitioners where they care so much. They'll make sure they're in shape all the time. They'll make sure they understand.
I'm not just saying it, but like a Rashford. Them man are obsessed.
Like a
with it.
Rashford's obsessed. But even if you look at older players who look like they care, Ashley Young cares. He may not be good, but he cares. You can see. In his eyes, when you're watching him play,
the pay cut.
you can see,
Yeah.
and that's why.
Yeah.
And that's
you can look into his
no,
eyes.
I'm so surprised
That's why you can
to hear
see.
it from a kid.
That's why you see. Not in a single
You
episode.
can see it in his eyes.
I've never ever cussed,
He always cusses when I say that.
Man will never cuss
Psychologist
Ashley
Akeem.
Young. I never cuss Ashley Young ever. Because he
I can see it in
cares.
his eyes.
He cares.
But listen,
But that's the point.
No, I was talking about the
Sure
thing about-
doesn't.
No, I was talking about the attitude thing. Because when I used to say that I don't like the way Martial misses chances and starts putting his head in the sky, I don't like his attitude.
What do you mean? He puts his head in the sky.
You know, oh gosh, I'm so.
I was watching.
Can't believe I
was
missed
watching
it.
his warm up last season. Yeah, bloody heck.
Bro, you're like.
I was just like, seriously, bro.
All right, listen. Before we get onto all the players,
But
and
do you
and
think?
the
Can I
thing
just
is,
ask you one
I'm
question?
glad we spoke about
Can I
this.
ask one question about that? Do you feel that's just a type of player? Because like Ozil's like that as well, where his face is like a computer game. He doesn't
Well,
change.
you've got one of
He
those
don't change.
sarcastic, like with those people that have a sarcastic face.
The weird thing is like Ozil it doesn't matter if he gets a hard challenge or he scores a goal. His face is like the same.
Really.
Nah, bro, no, this ain't banter. It's true, innit? Ozil, though, it's not like you could tell when Ozil's angry or when he's happy. He's the same face, innit?
Man. You know when Ozil's wind up.
Yeah, man.
Bro, you know what I'm trying to say in comparison to other players.
I know.
He's not expressive.
I think that's part of it, but I think
Because that's what makes Ozil have a lot of stick.
But I think those players as well, yeah, you can see it in their body language. Because Ozil in the last 2 games, even though he looks tired when he's doing it, he's trying to press.
He's trying.
Yeah, should have stayed out that late for that Fortnite session.
You know what I mean? That was him, Ozil. That weren't me, mate.
No.
That's all. I don't care. Mate.
Of course he wouldn't. Bloody hell. All right, listen. Let's talk about Oli because you have to mention it.
Oh man.
No, we do have to mention it before we move on because I feel like we spent a lot of time on Arsenal and Man United.
Sorry, before we get big up 003.5, as Chris likes to call him, 007. 003.5. That's his real name.
Yeah, because
That's
but
for you,
he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing.
Who's 003.5?
That's
Arteta.
Pep Guardiola.
Oh, why is he getting a big up? He's played one win.
Why are you so annoyed?
I hear you.
Why don't you worry about your own team?
Played one win.
Why don't you, Akeem? Why don't you worry about your own team?
Finally, they get on to everybody else about their accents.
He played one win. He played one win.
Some set 8 guy, you know.
All right,
Let's
go.
Andy, doesn't it annoy you? It must do.
No.
He's just trying to make sure the sound is okay, mate.
I just don't want to talk about Arteta because he's
I
not done enough.
moved on. I'm
moved
moving on to
on.
Ali Gunnar Social.
It's Tet to you. Tet to
Oh
you.
my gosh. Basically,
Mr. Arteta.
Basically, me and Akeem have been having this one narrative in regards to Solskjaer on this show where we spoke about his post-match conferences.
Oh, mate, we've been talking about this for a while. You two,
No,
to be fair.
but
now
I
it's
think,
come-
but
now
now
it's coming
exactly
to
we
a
have.
cut.
But now that Robin van Persie mentioned it, all right.
Because he's got the clout.
Did you see the response?
Yeah, but that's not real. It
please.
wasn't real.
He took my 20, my number 20. That's the only.
And that's the only thing he's going to be taken from me.
And then he smiled and
No,
went.
he goes,
No.
He didn't say that's the
no.
only thing. He said that's probably. See, he even hesitated with that. He was like, that's probably the only thing he's going to take.
Like, what else is he going to take?
Guys,
What-
God, can I just say one thing about what made that funny? And no one clocked it, yeah? When he said that, did this, he looked to the left and gave somebody a wink as if to say, I showed him. You know when you give man the wink like...
I actually saw that.
Did you got that wink?
I thought it was
I was
for the
thinking,
lady
so-
that does the interviews and says that it's done. But I'm not saying that though.
But did you notice he kind of looked to someone and went, don't
Yeah,
worry,
yeah.
I told you I was going to give him
I
a piece
just
of
looked
my
at that
mind
and I
today.
just thought,
Be real. Is that the guy you want to go to war
because he
with?
said,
No.
he said, we're gonna make sure we tell Pogba to tell his agent to stop talking crap because obviously the players are ours. I was thinking, if that was Fergie, boy, he would have taken you and the agent.
And
put
you know,
you
people
underneath the
forget
rug.
Fergie had a big issue with that agent.
No, listen.
Yeah,
listen.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
me- you know-
Oh,
you know-
yeah,
you know-
yeah,
you know
huge
Mino.
issue.
You know Mino. You know Mino. Yeah, you can tell he's one of those people. Yeah, who if you don't respect the manager, he'll start talking more. There's many players he's got, big players who are playing in unsuccessful teams at the moment, but he's pinpointing Man United because he knows Solskjaer's the joke. He'll never do that. I'm not trying to like go back to Mourinho, but he'll never talk like that when Mourinho's in charge. He knows Mourinho will shut him up real quick. But Solskjaer, look at those comments he's saying. He's like, oh, he needs to get his players out of this club. This club
It's
is
not even just Jose. It's who's Jose's agent. You know what I'm saying? Like you're playing with some
100%.
big
You're
boys,
playing big
'cause
boys.
You start messing around with one of Jose's
Mendes.
clients, bro. You're gonna. That's not good for business.
It's
not good for business.
But who do you think Oli? Who's Oli's agent?
Oh, mate, it doesn't matter.
I don't think
General manager McDonald's.
one.
General manager McDonald's.
He doesn't have one.
Man just turned up.
I said he
Man just
doesn't
turned up
have
going,
one.
please, can I please
No,
have
you
man-
know what actually upset me the most about Solskjaer?
That 99 goes.
Hey, what upset me the
Hey, bruv,
most?
he managed a club called Mould. Come on, man.
Hey, what upset me the most about Solskjaer's in the last week is that Football Manager video that came out.
Steve was talking about that in tapping
He goes like,
football.
he goes like, oh, he
spoke
does
about
like
that.
team talk. He
Have
does
you
a
not
team
seen
talk.
Bro,
it? Nah,
he
you
don't.
gotta pull up.
Bro, he's got to put it up.
No, pull it up,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, you gotta pull up.
Bro,
mate.
what
he's like on
happens?
the when he's at Mould. yeah.
Tell him.
Let me
I can't
get. No, wait. Let me give you
Bro,
context.
it's too
Let
funny.
me give you context.
No, no,
What happens is there's a video.
No context. No context, Ollie.
He's got
No context, Man
Man
United.
It's on Twitter, innit? It's on. Who put it in the group?
Nah, I put it in the group.
It's Tariq. Was it you?
Yeah, it's Tariq probably. But either way, I'll explain it quickly while Joel's bringing it up.
All right, they got another group
Basically,
without me, you know, mad.
Man.
Oh, what? You guys don't know. the man we're saying this is the group chat king.
Hey, listen, you still ain't put me in your group chat, you know, your football one.
Guys, it's
You
Tuesday.
need to slap me in there.
Hey guys, it's Tuesday. We're doing something on Wednesday, so I made a group chat for
About-
Wednesday. So
Hey, do you know what makes me laugh?
Tomorrow I'll make one about Thursday.
Hey, do you know what makes me laugh about his group chats? Is that he always says, "Yeah, we'll get rid of it soon." The 10th group. It never 10th. It never collapses.
It's always there.
It's always there.
This guy's a group chat king, man.
It's
You
true.
wanna
You made
join
one
my
for me,
group
him
chat?
and Free
I'm
Man.
gonna make a new
There's one for me,
Cheekysport
me,
group
him and
chat.
Free Man.
Why?
I'm making a new
One for
group
me,
chat.
Jermaine and him,
Hey
like,
guys,
time ago.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'll be getting like I get like prank called quite a lot. I don't know how my number.
Swear down.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
getting
yeah.
it from
You
like
actually-
Latvia and
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
getting bare mad prank calls. I was thinking, do you think we should do like a WhatsApp group chat
No,
and
we should.
invite
No,
the fans?
honestly, we
Yeah,
should
yeah,
not
yeah,
get a new
yeah,
number,
yeah.
bro.
Banter one.
Get a new number, yeah, or
And
two,
then we'll put it inside
then we'll
and
put
then-
it inside, and then we just make. No, because it's sick, bro. Because then at least if someone thinks you're chatting rubbish, they can just get me.
That would be sick.
Nah, but I
jumping
need- I need the burner
Gary
for that
Vaynerchuk
one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Gary
saying.
Who's
Who's
got the
got
number? You know who's got the
Yeah,
number
got the
there?
number. Wearing a number on the t-shirt now,
Bro,
like
we
Mike
could-
Jones,
yeah,
old school.
Bro, we could do like a WhatsApp number, then all the man them just add it and just send
Alright,
it.
new thing. That's what we're doing. 2020.
2020.
Aye.
The group chat,
Anyway-
group chat with all of you lot in there. Man, are gonna get hella called.
Anyway, so this video, yeah. How can you not find it yet?
Sorry,
No,
sorry.
you're
Quick
not
thing,
gonna
quick
find it.
thing.
Couple,
No, quick thing.
I'm going through all these memes that
You're
Bro,
verified,
bro.
bro.
Yeah, quick,
You're
quick,
verified.
quick thing,
Surely
yeah.
you can tap into the Illuminati to get it.
Here we go.
Bro, can you stop saying that? Seriously, I actually don't like
Quick
it.
thing. That's I actually don't.
I
I actually don't like it.
bro. You know
Hey,
what I
quick
mean?
thing, quick thing. Basically, it was one of them videos of, you know, like football, how Football Focus goes away and like, oh, let's see how Solskjaer's doing that mode, like blah blah blah. So it's like a 50-minute special. Then at some point in the video, they're like, he's playing Football Manager, managing his team against another club. I'm not gonna say anything else
No, you're
besides
lying.
watch it,
You're lying.
bro.
No.
Let me
Do you
bring
know
it
what
up.
it is?
No,
It's
I
the
don't
way
think
they
so.
made it
Shall I
seem.
explain it if you can't
No,
find
no,
it?
no, no. I can find it in a
It's
second.
It's
Hold
the
on.
way they made it seem so casual
Hold on,
about
I'll
how
find
it was
it. I'll
clicking
find
the
it.
buttons and
Bro.
you know that Football Manager has all the expressions
Bro,
for
no,
you.
no.
Yeah?
You need to watch it. Hold
Have you
on.
got it, yeah?
Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Have you got it?
I'll bring it up now.
Keem, you take it so long, man.
Got it
Damn.
ready. See?
He's got it.
I got it. Wait for it. He's talking about how he likes the game. We should clip it in the bottom here. Still.
This is the long
What? No, it's only a minute long. It's cool.
Definitely the long version.
It's a long
I
version,
know.
like a 10
2020, short patience. Wait for it. Hold on. Here we go.
Nah, bro, this is mental.
No, now just watch it. Wait. This is what happens when you skip it. This is what happens when you skip it. Exactly. This is what happens when you skip
Anyway, guys, 2020.
patience.
What's your
Hi,
New
wait,
Year's
shh. Oh, Jack.
Oh, my days.
Watch
No,
what
so
he
this
says.
is mad.
Wait
Watch
for it. Wait for it.
Ah.
It's when he starts talking English. Wait. Yeah. No, it's real.
real,
Wait.
guys.
What he said? Shh.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's not even the
So the one.
version.
No, basically,
mate,
so that it
we're
comes
go-
to the team talk, yeah, and they go like, oh, it goes like, oh, like, you know, oh, just go out and enjoy yourselves, it says.
Yeah.
And then it cuts
He
it in
clicks
like
it.
them conceding in the 90th minute.
Bro, he actually clicks the option.
And it goes like, oh.
And you know the funny thing. He's playing with the players, yeah. And he's like, Vortex. Hey, imagine,
I can't do this.
bro. Imagine, bro.
Let me find it.
I can't do
Hey,
this.
is it no context?
Bro, Bro, imagine,
Bro, no,
imagine,
let me
man
get it.
is playing with all of the players he knows, innit? So he's talking like to the screen. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna play Vortex here. Yeah, Vortex, yeah, he can play. He can go run out. He's literally talking like that. He's talking like he's managing. Then he's like, half time. Yeah, let the boys have fun. Let them have some fun.
Yeah.
Bro, they
let me
conceded.
find
They conceded. He is dead. He is dead food.
What are you saying? He ain't got the juice.
Bro has no.
Bro, he's
Hey,
dead
bro,
food.
bro, I don't know, man.
Anyway,
Big up Solskjaer. I just don't think he has the tactics. I don't think he has the minerals. I don't know if I hope the players love him as much.
Yeah.
As much as he thinks he does. Because he said something about it being like medieval. Like there was a comment he made in the press conference where he said, I'm not gonna act like it's the medieval times, which basically signified to me that he believes that maybe acting like a strict manager is a bit old-fashioned.
Because it didn't work the last manager, so he's probably thinking, why am I going to replicate what didn't work? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I
it
think
depends
with
what
him-
you class as not work. because he's got second highest win ratio of all time for Man United.
Cool, but let's forget. All right, we've spoken about Solskjaer. We forgot, right? What are your thoughts, Jermaine? Because we never asked you the questions about the Pogba injury and how he handled it.
Why do you start laughing?
It was Jermaine's face. It was Jermaine's face.
Joel set one up
on his face.
He set one up with this Pogba injury because he knows.
Wow, what's your thoughts?
Jeez.
Make sure they can hear you.
Alright, so basically, the reason why Joel's getting on to me is because I believe that, like we mentioned earlier, there are certain Man United players that definitely get targeted by the media and the fans, etc. Yeah,
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
but I don't like Pogba in it. I don't like Pogba. I don't like how he handles things.
Why?
I just think he could. I think he can control his agent, but he likes to speak through his agent. I think a lot of the times when you hear Mino say stuff, I feel like that's actually.
No, but you know Mino probably gives strict words to his players saying, "Nah, I talk for you."
Yeah,
I'll
but
say
no,
it.
no,
I
but you know what?
I honestly
But you know, super agents have power.
Because you know what it is? I often hear man saying, "Oh, Pogba doesn't say anything," but then what I've noticed, Pogba's response is, "I didn't say anything."
Yeah. No, I get no.
He never comes out and expresses his love.
I think you're both right. First of all, I'm not trying to lie in it. It's all out there in the internet. No snitching, no 6ix9ine. You saw him in Asia when he was in Asia. He said it's time for me to move on. He said that fact. We all saw it.
Straight up.
He's not dumb. He knew it was going to get out in the media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He thinks
knows
it's
what
time.
he's doing,
He thinks it's time to go. But it's also interesting because when Patrice Evra was talking on Sky Sports, right? I can't remember. It was a Sky Sports interview. He was talking about when Pogba left and how he's like, Pogba's like his little brother. And, Patrice, he said he thinks that his agent is influential. And he probably used stronger words than that, but I can't remember what he said. But he was basically saying that his agent is controlling things a little bit. You know them ones there. So, so it's not a secret.
And I don't think Pogba, do you know what I mean? And he doesn't, and I think because of that, and he
doesn't come out and say,
he allows the agent to kind of get away with a few things, and because of that, he kind of, I always say this, Pogba doesn't care about Man United, he doesn't care about the fans, he doesn't, I get it, he's a better player than everybody there, but that doesn't
Does
mean,
he not though?
But
Does he not?
No, he doesn't. Not to me.
All I know is that
Not to me,
he's
he
got
doesn't-
38.7 million followers. Even if you don't want to put it on the feed, you can put it on the story.
He's
just going around and just
then
saying,
bro changes his
know
Twitter
what I
DP and all of that. You know them subliminal.
But you know,
what did he change it to?
World Cup only.
but let me,
France.
but let me,
Man United.
No.
but let me ask you though. Then again, does any player show their love for a club and commit? They don't really do that anymore. No. Deep what I'm saying. Like Hazard had a point when he was going to do that. He didn't do it. This was about a year before he left. Even he didn't do it.
I'm just saying.
And he still banged as hard as he could for Chelsea. So I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that at the end of the day, because of all the cloud that is around Pogba, it would be good to actually try and combat that by actually.
But I think the fact is he doesn't mind leaving.
He doesn't care.
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
Saying that,
Listen,
saying that, though,
I'm not mad at Pogba. If Pogba don't care, he don't care. That's
saying
fine.
that though, he played very well. When I know it was a few games ago against Watford and stuff like that. That's when I remembered. When he came on. When he came
irrelevant.
No, Akeem.
Irrelevant.
When he came on, Akeem, he was pulling strings, but
He's
your
the best.
players were not capable
I get it.
of
I
eating
get it.
their food.
Irrelevant.
That was the issue.
Irrelevant.
And he's thinking,
I don't
assist rate.
I don't want to know
man
about.
can't finish.
I don't want to know about good performances when teams lose. I'm not interested.
At the end of the day,
move on. Not interested.
At the end of
Not
the day,
interested.
at the end of the day,
Not something I want to talk about.
I'm going to move on from United.
Talk to him,
I'm going to
please.
move from
Talk to him.
United.
Have a
Yeah,
word, Andy.
but I know the fans are going to say, "Oh, Pogba is your best player." I know, bro, but that doesn't mean just because he's man's best player doesn't mean I'm going to bet
Genuine
for him.
You shut your mouth, yeah? During the championship. You shut your mouth.
Genuine-
You're not allowed to speak
Genuine
until after the Man City game if you win.
Genuine question: where do you not think your teams will finish this season?
I already said outside top 6. I've said
No,
that.
but what-
Strong 7th.
Strong 7th.
Honestly.
No, that's me.
Honestly,
No,
You think seven?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say
I
top
think
6.
it's going to be too late for us, man.
Because
For
I
what?
see all these Arsenal fans going, yeah, top 4 guaranteed.
Top
Oh
4.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Let me tell you.
Andy's shaking
No,
his
no,
Andy
that's
said,
fine.
Let me tell you.
I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans say that.
Our biggest
said-
failure post Alex Ferguson would be to finish below Arsenal this season. Like, personally,
What?
we if we finish below Arsenal, if we finish below,
Now
if
you're
we finish
trying to
below,
trigger people.
no,
I wanna move on.
If
I
we
wanna
fin-
talk
if
about
we finish
Mourinho.
be- Look, all
Yeah,
I'm
let's
saying
talk about Mourinho.
My answer.
Let's talk about
I'm answering
Mourinho.
the question. My answer is
We didn't ask you a question.
yeah. You did. You asked where we think we finish.
I didn't ask.
I asked.
You're talking about failures, though. What are you talking about? The biggest failures?
No,
since-
no.
Akeem,
No one asked you that.
Akeem, just
No one asked you that
Akeem,
question.
Akeem, just say where you're gonna finish.
No one.
That's my answer.
Nobody.
You know,
Blank.
Basically,
Akeem. The
that
biggest Man United failures is.
That basically means.
You know when you had a word
as long as
count.
we finish above Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know when you have
Yeah,
a word count.
exactly.
You have a
That's
word
it.
count for essay. He does it by like times 5. So now just explain it with one simple solution.
my answer.
Well, yeah,
Trying to get maximum points on GCSEs.
Yeah.
You got to show you're working
You know what I
out.
mean? Extra paper in that. Asking for extra paper.
Extra slips.
Listen, if we finish below Arsenal, then Ollie's got to go. That's it.
Mate, just saying.
Well, he's been got to go, but he should
Yeah.
finish off this season. I don't want him to.
What's the point? Why do you say stuff like that as well? What's the point of finishing off the season if he's got to go?
Who would you bring in though? Who's going to be
They're going to get Poch at the end of the season anyway.
Gus Hiddink.
They're getting Poch at the end of the season.
Gus.
Gus Hiddink.
Yeah, Gus Hiddink.
I don't know why.
Is he still managing?
I don't know why.
Managers don't retire.
Oh, man's gonna drag him from his wherever he is in his little retreat somewhere. Going, please, please.
That's got a robot. You're tracing him. Just tracing him to the
He's got
city.
1% battery left, and you're trying to drag him back into the job.
That's dead, man. No. Yeah. Let's just move on. Let's move on to Mourinho, man, because with Solskjaer and all that, that's just.
And Carlo.
J-
Big
Jermaine,
Carlo.
I got to say,
the humble
I'm
one.
starting to think, that Big Jose's losing it still.
Oh, here we go.
And
The
Jose's
humble
my
one.
favourite manager in the world, yeah?
You never
But
liked him.
after... What? Why are you lying?
Eh?
He's just trying to get laughs.
No,
This is what he
it's
said
not-
about social media. It's always about who can get the most laughs.
In the know, Akeem.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the know. No, honestly, it's like I'm starting to think that, maybe,
Rubbish.
you know what I mean?
Is that
Maybe the man of a rat.
Is that rattle,
Toby.
What is it? The rattle bird in the cage.
Do you know why? Do you know why that doesn't? It's not true because
Rattle pigeon.
look, he's also. There's also another manager. Why are you laughing?
Bro, he looked at the Southampton manager's clipboard, bro.
He
Arsenal, yeah.
he was moving mad. He's like, yeah, I deserved the yellow card, but he was an idiot. I was like, what?
It's funny because when he
What do
first
you
came to
do?
Spurs, he tried to act as if he had changed.
Yeah, the humble
He ain't
one.
changed.
The humble one. He's back to doing madness again. It's
I
just
swear.
like-
Man gave
I
man
swear.
3 games.
No, 3 games.
The guy
And
is mental.
I just see Jose is back. Oh, there he is.
The guy is crazy.
No,
Like,
but
he's
look,
actually
but
crazy.
look, all I'm gonna say with this is give time. Give time.
He went.
Bro, he leaned over.
Leaned over,
He
no, no.
leaned over.
Interman's tactics. Oi,
Do
that
you know what he looked like? He looked like he was like leaning over the VIP barrier, like trying to get in.
Trying to get in, bro.
Wait, hold on. What did Hasenhüttl do when he looked?
No, it was some next coach. It was
Oh,
someone
next
else.
coach.
The next
Yeah.
coach
Yeah,
kind of looked
one
up
of
like,
the
what are
coaches.
you
Yeah.
doing, bro?
But I
What,
think
the up and
he did it to taunt him. He didn't do it to try to see his tactics. It was kind of like,
He's
yeah,
trying to-
what?
He was trying to annoy him. He was
Yeah,
trying to
literally.
pay him off.
What are you doing? Like,
But do you
you're trying to get under the manager's
But do you
skin?
think Mourinho knows he's like more of a personality now than anything
Yeah,
else?
do you know what I think it is?
think he's paying up for it?
I think he wants to become an Instagram comedian after his career's
he's
done.
not, man.
He-
You got to put some respect on
20
Jose.
No, because you know what?
Who man-
do you know
who
what?
man this
Do you know
guy
what? Only he somehow.
Jose 20.
Jose 20, you know.
But now look,
Hey, you have his own rage
all we
and
got to
everything.
do, all we got to do is relax and realize, like, it's only been about 7-8 games he's managed.
Yeah.
I still think Tottenham's going to be in a strong position by the end of the season, and new manager bounce don't happen anymore.
What's a strong position in the
When
end of
it's
the season?
Arsenal,
What does that mean? What does that mean?
No. When it's Arsenal, new manager bounce, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But when it's them, it
But
doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, but
when it's-
Mourinho's
No,
proven
listen,
it.
listen,
Arteta isn't.
He's
There's
proven.
a
He's
difference.
proven. Look, Carlo Ancelotti. Where's the new manager bounce? What we could also say he's finished. He's not. Though, is he?
no, but
what I'm saying?
he's been declining
we
a
gotta talk
little
about that
bit
a bit.
for a minute though. Still,
Nah, you lot are not putting
He's
respect.
been,
You're
no,
great.
I respect him. No. I did not say I don't respect him. It's like Wenger at the end. We got to be honest that
You can't compare
the
Wenger.
juice-
You can't
the
compare
juice was-
Wenger
no,
to Carlo.
I'm not
Not to
comparing
Don
them
Carlo.
both.
Okay.
I'm looking at.
Not to Don Carlo.
That is something
Not to
else.
Don Carlo,
Don
mate.
Carlo, you know.
Not to Don Carlo, mate.
You just want to put Arsenal down,
Bro, you're
just a
comparing
hater.
Wenger to
No,
a
I
man
did
who won
not
3
say.
Champions
I
Leagues.
did not.
Nah,
Alright,
you're wrong
did I
with
say
it.
that?
Come on.
Alright.
Did I say that? What
Alright,
I'm saying is sometimes, you got to admit when it's a bit stale, when it's a bit expired, you got to be like, got to chuck this milk
it's
out
true.
of them. It's not the same. If you saw him at Napoli, the magic wasn't there.
Do you
know
think
what
they're
I'm saying?
like? Do you think they're coming to
But
the end?
Napoli's a hard club, man. It's a difficult one there.
No, but
Because
do you
they're always in the shadow of Juventus there. and they've always had that struggle to win anything over there. And they haven't.
I
won
get
for
that,
ages.
but when
Since the
Sarri was there,
Maradona days.
but when Sarri was there,
Yeah, but they didn't win anything.
They didn't win anything, but they still
They got close.
performed. Like someone like Ancelotti with his pedigree to go there and do nothing.
But sometimes certain managers just don't gel at certain clubs.
And I get that. Like, do you know
Are
what I
we
mean?
expecting him to gel at Everton? That's the thing.
Yeah,
we
well,
also
look,
gotta think. We
bro,
gotta think
bro.
really.
What I'm trying to say is,
I don't think
bro,
it's a good fit.
all I'm trying to
No,
say
I
is,
don't think so
what I'm
either.
trying to say is, I feel is this.
It's not the right
do you
setup
feel-
there for him. I don't think.
Do you know someone said something? I wanted to know you lot's opinion. Yeah. Do you feel because of the size and like how Everton's like a mid-table club and they've got a huge manager like Carlo? Do you think it's unacceptable? Someone said like Everton should never sack Carlo Ancelotti. It can never be his fault because he is so much of a good manager.
that's rubbish.
It's got to be down to something else that is causing it.
Yes.
Because do you feel that's the case?
Yes.
So you feel like it's
I
got to
do
be
so.
something else.
I
Because I'll be real. If they
do,
sack Carlo,
do you know-
I can't see. I don't understand who's gonna be better than that.
That's what I'm saying.
To get
So,
them,
no, I do. No, I agree.
What, so
Akeem.
you guys
Akeem, I
don't
agree.
believe that for every job you need the right man?
Bro,
Yes
Sometimes
and no.
rubbish.
Man-
Sometimes
man-
man with the
there's
best
so many
accolades
factors
to
that
go
go
into
into
it.
it.
Sometimes you need the
bro,
right man.
Bro, management is universal. It's universal, bro.
Let's break it down.
Go on.
This is Carlo Ancelotti, bad boy football player who knows everything about football and managerial. When he had Kaka doing bits, whatever, he was the one orchestrated one of the baddest AC Milan
That
teams
AC
I've
Milan
seen.
was one of the
Mad.
best teams ever.
And don't
That's
get
best
twisted,
team I've
the
ever
way
seen.
he came to
Yeah.
the Premier League, he was the only manager after Jose, to also have a very strong squad that could dismantle anyone. Do you see what I'm saying? This is
they were
Carlo
strong.
Ancelotti. Do you know what I mean? Then he went to Real Madrid, did bits there. He's a big boy in the game. So you can't tell me that he's going to go to Everton and struggle to, let me see,
I was about to make up a stat.
struggle to set up cones or whatever, or get the tactics right. Them man know football.
I agree with
You know what I
what
mean?
Joel's
So
saying here.
if it doesn't work, I just got to look and just say, hey, maybe the system that they got is more than the money that's required. Because you can have the money, but if the setup ain't right, like when Fergie went to United and he was like, we're going to start from the bottom up. That's how you
Change the law.
yeah. So sometimes you go there.
But this
and
isn't
the
that
thing
sort of
ain't
job.
banging.
This
And
isn't that
I don't
sort of
think
job.
What
managers
sort
have
of
that.
job is it then?
It's a quick turnaround.
And I
No,
don't,
it's
yeah,
not
but,
quick
but then
turnaround.
I don't
Bro, it's like
hire
3
Carlo
years.
Ancelotti to do a quick
That's
turnaround.
bro, that is-
3
that
years
is
is
what
not
they
a-
wanted.
Bro,
They
what do you think they want? Bro, that's a 5-year job.
Yeah, that's
to
a
get the
free-
way they want.
Yeah, but you see, Everton have always been in transition. They've been in transition for
Exactly.
since Moyes
They're
left.
inconsistent. Sometimes
So
you see them
inconsistent.
top 6,
No, because
7th,
every
they
season,
below. Like,
every season they have a good window. Everyone looks like, oh, Everton should
They
really
should do something,
push
and
it
they
on
never
this,
do.
and they never do it.
Yeah, but
They never
that's
do
the
it.
exact point of why they got Ancelotti, so they can consolidate that good team.
But I don't know-
and
yeah, but
actually
the pace-
succeed
Did
with
you hear
it.
what
Yeah, but the-
Ancelotti said about them players after that?
Yeah, I know.
FA Cup?
what did he say?
Bro,
So
he
they're
said
not
that
good
it was
enough.
like men against boys. We're not good enough. Feel like we've never played as an 11. The mentality's poor. Bro, he was letting them
And the
have
pro-
it.
yeah,
But
the
the funny
problem
thing is, he's played at such a level. When man says that, he's not lying.
He's not lying, 100%.
But
not lying.
do you feel this is a problem?
He's not
Do
lying.
you feel this is a problem that both Ancelotti and obviously we're just talking about Mourinho as well. They've played with such good players and such
Yeah,
good teams.
I feel sorry
that
for
that
them
is
sometimes.
why they're saying, "Oh, Dyer's not good enough."
Yep,
This
yep.
player's not good enough. That player. 'cause
I'm not
they've
being
seen
funny.
so much. They've
Put it
seen
this
so
way,
much
yeah?
good.
Put it this
that
way.
They don't see.
I'm sorry to compare football with the podcast team. You guys are top class elite, my guys. If I sat there with people who were just skipping lines, poor, couldn't get it right, I'm sorry. I'm gonna find it very hard to say this team is a superstar team alongside. Think of it for yourself. Do you know what I mean? Viewers don't want to see people and they think, oh, this is dead. They want to see. It's hard to big up people who are not doing their job and who have never played together, like he said, properly as an 11. I'm sorry, you can't go from coaching Kaka and then you're struggling against some of these men. Do you know what I mean?
You're used
No,
to a
but
certain
So maybe
level.
what
You're
you're
used to a
saying,
certain
maybe
level.
what Jermaine's saying is right. Then that
I don't think he should have
maybe
taken the job.
you need managers on the level of where the club is at that
Yeah,
point.
he should have
Because
taken the job.
I feel like Mourinho and Carlo maybe are too big
I think
for
he
their
should have
jobs.
ta- yeah, I really
There's
do.
something that Akeem always says. He always says that a good manager can go to a team that's all right and make them look better than they are.
No, but
I used to
sometimes you
believe
need a
that,
window-
but I don't know anymore.
I don't know because the problem is nowadays there's so much pressure on the job. Back in the day, there was a lot less pressure to turn things around.
time.
And exactly, and I don't think nowadays, as
Managers
much
get
as
time.
clubs and boards say we'll give them time, I don't think there's enough time required for a lot of managers nowadays to actually turn up. Start from the bottom, get rid of the dead wood, and give them time to rebuild the squad.
But that's never
Because
gonna happen.
It's never going to happen nowadays.
It's never gonna
because
happen.
You worry about whether you're close to relegation or not getting enough money here or competing with other clubs. That's the problem. And now, because the whole culture of football's completely changed now. Everything's so quick. You have to do this now.
I know this is going to be jarring, but can I just bring Liverpool into this conversation?
Yeah, go on.
I was
Klopp recently done that interview with Arsene Wenger, and he spoke
I ain't
about.
seen it yet, you know.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm sure.
It's mainly Klopp talking. It's mainly about Klopp, and then Wenger just kind of, echoing some of the stuff he says and just adding little points here and there. Yeah. But like Klopp was talking about when he got there, he knew straight away that who had potential and who didn't, and who he could bring in and who he felt like he could build the team with. Yeah, I always think that. I always say, I put my hands up. I used to laugh at Klopp the most out of everybody.
Really?
Bro, I knew what he did at Dortmund.
So did Akeem. Yeah.
But you know what?
He used to say Akeem needs to get that.
But you know what? You know why Klopp's so good?
Videos.
It's because he's ruthless, but the way in which he operates his ruthlessness is unparalleled. No one can match him on that level because.
Elaborate.
Because so basically. He still creates a positive atmosphere at the club, despite the fact he's being ruthless and going, look,
but do you
we
know
need
why?
to get this
But
player.
do you know why?
We need to do this.
But do you know why though, Jaik? It's because he's backed by the board.
That is also true. That is also true.
So for him, even when it
everything
looked like
goes to
it wasn't
plan,
really going on for Liverpool, there was never the dreaded. What's that dreaded thing that they could vote of confidence? You never got any of that because with Klopp, even the fans, to be fair to him, were so on his side that the players they had no choice.
But you're saying that. But even in the case of what we're talking about now, Mourinho, Carlo, and even Solskjaer, all three of them are surely backed by the board.
No.
I don't think that's a straight line.
No.
Bro,
Do you know why
you think Carlo would come to that thing without being backed?
Bro?
No. He's
Of course.
No, bro. Do you know? Let me tell you.
He's getting a lot of money over there, you know.
What do you mean?
Akeem. Yeah,
Bro,
money. He's right.
You're assuming everything.
Let me break it down to you.
Yeah.
Klopp. When he needed a new goalkeeper, they went out, they did what they had to do. I'm not saying that Liverpool spent the most amount of money ever, right? But if he needed something, it was done. Van Dijk, it was done. You know what I mean? It happened. With when you're looking at Solskjaer, yeah, bro, he tried to sell Martial. They vetoed that straight away. Whether the board were right or wrong or not, they vetoed that straight away. Certain things that he wanted, they vetoed it straight away. Some of the
you're talking about Solskjaer now?
Yeah, Solskjaer. They stopped it. So whether they bought him or not, they stopped it.
That's
no,
okay.
bruv.
All right. Do you know what?
And who's the other manager? Who's the other manager that you mentioned? Was it
Mourinho? Mourinho's too early. It's the window.
Too early,
You see why Ole is different to that.
But Daniel Levy will give man peace.
But the reason why Ole is different to say Klopp in that aspect is because Ole was they were pressured to give him the job. So in their full heart, they're not actually fully behind Ole because they've been forced into appointing him as manager. And they're looking at certain decisions he's trying to do, and they're going, "Nah, what are you doing, bro?"
You guys don't.
There's always going to be an element of questioning what he does. Whereas with Klopp, they always had full faith.
The reason why I say that though, Jack, is because the fans and the board always said that they could see what Klopp was trying to do.
Yeah.
Just like with Pep Guardiola, man are saying they can see what he's trying to do.
Give an example of a manager that you can't see.
That's my whole point. When we're looking at Carlo Ancelotti, when we're looking at Solskjaer, are we looking at managers that we can see?
It's too early to say about Carlo.
Carlo's too early. The reason why a lot of people don't like Solskjaer is because they say they can't see tactically what he's trying to bring. They don't see it. They don't get it.
But you know what? About this whole chairman thing, and we all know, obviously, because we're not talking to the chairman, yeah? We are making a series of assumptions about a lot of things.
Of course.
We are. Like, okay, they're backing this manager, but they didn't back this manager purposely. Oh, this and that. We don't know.
Back Jose. Jose came out and he said it straight.
Okay, but exactly. But unless this manager speaks out at the end, which hardly any manager does, but Jose did, Rafa Benitez did when he left.
Unai as well, was he really
I don't know,
back?
But see, that's the thing. See, with Arsenal, with the Arsenal factor, I'm still struggling to understand how Arsenal can have billionaires running the club for 15 years or 10 years, and they're a manager that they keep renewing a contract for, they don't back. And it's like, are you not backing them? Think about it. Are you not backing them because you don't like? They're saying, is it a part where Wenger? Is it a part where Wenger? No, that's what I'm thinking. But is it a part where Wenger said, because he never came out and said at any point that he didn't have the players. Maybe he came out and said, we've got youngsters that can do it. We don't need anyone. a lot of people are not thinking about that factor. That maybe he did say that.
He did say that though.
Exactly.
Well, I think at the same time, people it was about steadying the ship for him.
So people today die saying Arsenal, Wenger was not backed. But how do you know? How do you know that man didn't go back to the Gazidis and say we don't need anyone?
Yeah, true.
You don't know that?
True.
The only players that you know, the only managers you know is Rafa and Jose. They're the only two that's come out and openly publicly said it. If they haven't publicly said it, how do you know? Yeah. You don't know.
Fair enough, but still,
I'm saying.
I always say, man, if you want your team to do well, you gotta have your board, your management, your players, fans on a train.
But it's impossible.
Everybody,
it's impossible nowadays,
and you say it's impossible, bro. I swear to you, watch that Man City documentary. Yeah,
no.
I keep saying it,
bro. To even beat that, Liverpool's gone to a different level. 5 days, bro. 5 days into the transfer window, bro. They've negotiated, signed, and started. Then, bro, he's played already a game. Man United are probably not even.
But let me tell you something about Klopp. Yeah, Klopp does his business. He moves like how Jose used to move. Like. No, wait. But listen to what Jermaine said though. But for that to happen, the board has to be in sync with him. Klopp probably went to them back in November and said, needs January 1st. But they're not dumb. They're not dumb because they looked at that and everybody sees what man like Son is doing to the Asian market. Son is the spiciest footballer in all of Asia. So when Liverpool look at that, they're looking at their 2, 3, 5 year plan and they're thinking, hold on a second, we're going to be challenging for the league for the next few years. How do we go to that next level to become a super team? And in order to do that, you do have to get your Ginseng Parks. You do have to get your Nakatas. You do have to get those fingers. You've got to get those players because
that Japanese market's going to be lit
and when you combine that with the likes of Sadio Mane and Egypt, they got the 2 kings of Africa. They've got the 2 kings of Africa.
And just to put the
Arabic,
sauce on it,
and do you know what I mean?
They got the Nike deal coming.
And they got the night deal coming. So
and let's not forget Firmino as well. Dripping.
Yeah. So when I hear,
South America.
So when I hear Mbappe might be coming, I think it's not as crazy as people think.
It's not.
Because when Eden Hazard went to Chelsea, there was other options. But they won the Champions League. Chelsea were obviously trying to transition and go to the next level. Eden said, I'm going Chelsea.
Yeah. But that's the thing. People are putting, lack of respect on Liverpool's name.
Yeah.
Because when people say Mbappe going to Liverpool, everyone's laughing. And I'm thinking, listen, they are the best team in the world.
They're the best team in the world. They are the best team in the world.
And you're telling me you wouldn't want to go there?
They are.
I know, Andy. It hurts to say.
Was he Everton fan?
No. He's
it's facts. They are the. Bro,
they are.
He's from Manchester.
They are.
We'll never say
Andy.
But he would never say it.
But you see, but that's the thing. You look at Liverpool. I can't see them losing this season, bro. I can't see
that means you're going to say they're going to be invincible.
Someone asked me the other day, they said, do you reckon they're going to beat the Invincibles?
I think they could.
And they stood there laughing as if I said,
bro, it's very possible.
If they did, who can hate on them?
Yeah.
When you're playing like that, bro.
No, but I got to say,
and they wouldn't even be Invincibles, bro. They've won. They've won.
Yeah,
they're not even drawing. They're winning.
No, not just that, and they're in other competitions.
So mad.
And bro,
Sadio Mane hasn't lost a home game.
You see when everyone was saying, the Christmas period, that's going to ruin Liverpool. They won every game.
I can't believe that.
Even
I thought,
they put a second team out, still won yesterday.
But you know one thing, like all banter aside, and obviously I know on our channel
You mean before yesterday, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
But how dare you guys record the podcast the week before? How dare ya? I'm coming back when there's no Just Eat. Piss off, mate.
But you know, all banter aside, I think the football community, like people said something like, is the Invincibles from Arsenal versus the Unbearables. And I'm thinking, it's so disrespectful to call them the Unbearables and keep talking about VAR sometimes when... if I was a Liverpool fan, I would start ranting now. I'll be like, no, allow the VAR. Give her Charles respect. Put some respect on our level.
Without VAR, there will still be clear.
No. Someone put a thing where the table with if there was no VAR and Liverpool like 13th.
No. But I'll be real with you, yeah? Hey, listen, you see some of my bedrooms I've said to man, yeah? They said, Jay, you see come May, yeah? When we lift this Premier League.
Now the Liverpool fans.
Bro, so many Liverpool fans, they said, you are done, fam. I am coming to. Bro, can you imagine when Liverpool win this?
But you know why?
Champions League
they're going to make it rain.
Do you know why it feels a bit odd? Because there's no battle towards it. It's like, they've won it.
bro.
And do you know what? It's a bit of
Convincingly won
it's
it.
a bit of an anticlimax. for the Liverpool
Fuad
fans.
is waiting.
Yeah,
Oh, no, 180.
Fuad said you guys, Fuad, yeah, he said he's won the league as Liverpool fan. You see him here.
What day was it?
He's trying different sports now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's tried darts now.
What do you know about 180?
180. Like he's literally trying new sports.
What day
'Cause
did he
they
come on the
clock
show? Was it September,
He
October?
gave
Oh, I
the
cussed
date.
him. And
Bro,
look
he
at
sent me
He's
the
like, we
video.
won it. We won it. We would have won the league.
Bro.
I told man.
Bro, and he said,
You see, that's what I love for him, but I hate the fact that his team's going to win the league.
He
bro.
said,
Oh.
you lot. He said to me,
So-
you lot. Oh, look, he sent me the video.
September.
And he replayed it.
When did he send you that?
September the 16th, we are already champions.
Mad. That was
No, but I still stand by that.
Yeah, of course, you can't say
Yeah,
that.
you can't say that in September.
September the 16th.
Yes,
bro
you
said
can.
it. Bro looked at the
Yes,
ball and
you-
said we won.
well, he
No.
did,
Yeah,
and
but,
he
no,
was
but
right.
you know that's like
Nah,
doing.
sorry,
that's
man.
like slapping 50
Listen.
quid on 36 on the roulette table and it pops up. It's like, okay, yeah, well done.
But he's not talking about that.
Well done.
He's looking at the form of his team, yeah, since God knows when, and he's saying,
Yeah, but
we're just not losing. He's looking at his team thinking, we are so sick, no one else can maintain it.
No, but that's a punt in the dark, though.
Sorry.
Let's not
Can't
chat
believe
rubbish.
this.
Nah, man,
But-
he
but
was
can-
right.
can I just
He
say
was
Big up
right.
Fuad. Big
He
up
was
Fuad
right.
for being
Can
right.
I just say something?
He was
though?
right, but
How many?
it's still mad to
how
say
many
that
points do you
September.
think they will actually win the league by, realistically?
Oh,
Could be anything.
I think it could be.
Because I think
quite-
I
It could be a Man United team in 2000. Could be Man United 99 2000 still.
No, I think personally
You know that-
it'll end up only being about 5 or 6 points still. I think they're going to lose.
Akeem, who cares?
No,
You know, it's
bro,
a
it doesn't
good thing you say
matter.
that,
No, it
though.
doesn't matter.
Cares.
I was thinking about this fixture
Nah,
now,
nah,
innit?
what
We're
fixture?
going to close up the show by going over some of the fixtures, yeah?
Wait, what about Jack's
Fulham
Jack's
update.
Fulham?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Before you, yeah, go
It's
on, brother.
actually the one home game I didn't go to because
What, before
Maybe
yesterday?
you're bad luck, Chuck.
took-
Maybe you're
took-
bad luck.
Took my niece to
What, before
Winter
yesterday?
Wonderland.
Oh.
But yeah, 2 bangers from Harry Arter and
Harry
Anthony
Arter.
Knockout.
What a goal.
Brilliant goals from the pair of them. Good to see Harry Arter back in the squad after his injury. And now we've got Man City away.
Hey.
So all that hard work, and now we're knocked out the cup before we've even kicked the ball. Man City away.
Because Man
you know.
City, you know they're going to want to win that. Oh, bro, this is what I mean about United. You know I want to win FA Cup 'cause I want to lift side this season. And
Yeah, but hey, listen.
After that draw,
listen,
I just
yeah,
like,
hey, listen,
oh, what's the
listen.
point?
You ain't lifting nothing. this season,
Mate, they're playing extra games, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know how busy the schedule is already, yeah, in January? And
For
them
Man
guys
to
have
do
just
replay.
Oh
added
yeah,
an
you got to play tomorrow,
extra
aren't you?
game.
You play tomorrow, yeah.
I'll be real, yeah. I'll be real.
Just to lose.
And this shows the level of Man United. When I saw 0-0, I was clapping still.
Is it?
I was like, good away.
Well,
good
against Wolves, no.
Good away draw.
I was thinking that as
Mate,
well. I was like,
I was
oh,
like-
they've held on against Wolves.
Mate, I was like, good away draw.
I
Good
genuinely
away
thought
draw.
that.
Bro, that's the levels, man.
That's mad, though, isn't it?
That's it.
You watch it,
You
you're
see,
like,
you see
oh.
when I saw United in 5th, I was like, oh, Solskjaer's doing better than I thought.
Oh, you see him in the end, and he goes like, "Oh, it was a great result. Chong played really well." And it's just,
Oh, bro.
like, give it a
Man are
rest,
telling me that Chong ain't all that. I thought he was all that for the youth team,
bro. Nah,
innit?
it's good, man. But he looks
Man.
like one of them be a pro players when you like you
No,
mess
allow it.
around with the hair. And
Is
that.
he like good? Like good? Nah, Jay.
Oh, by the way, have you heard his press?
John was in the eye.
Have you heard his
man,
press
innit?
conference?
That's you, man, innit?
Hey,
Nah,
Jay.
he's not.
Hey, Jay, have you heard his
He'll be at West Brom in a
Jay, have
few
you heard
years.
his press conference for the Man City game? Oh, man.
Oh, what's he said
Oh,
now?
my
I know. No, just watch it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's
a lot of
tomorrow.
smiling. A lot of smiling.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
What do you mean it's now, mate?
Right,
It's going on as we speak.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
yeah, because we're 10
Yesterday.
Oh,
It's happening right
Hey! Come on, Greenwood. Come on.
Oh,
you
here he comes.
you see that clip of Greenwood? They're going like, Greenwood is next level baller. This is just going in a circle.
Someone in the comments could be like, Joe trying so hard to make us believe it's live.
What did he say? I don't even want to know, bro.
Bro, you don't want to know.
No, you see the
There's a
video
lot
of
of smiling.
Greenwood.
a lot of
Greenwood's
smiling.
hard, you know.
No, Greenwood's cold.
Greenwood's actually
But
hard, you know. I'm
he was
serious.
cold, and he did like a
He's
little
hard.
roulette. You know, went past one player, but he just ended up in the same place that he was in to begin with.
but Jack, he's
No, he's a
hard,
baller.
bro.
I'm not.
Hey,
I'm not saying
Hey,
he's not a baller.
what he was saying, he was just like, it should be a good game. Should be a good game. Looking at it's
mate,
exciting.
yeah.
He's like, it's exciting. He's just talking about how exciting the game's gonna be.
He's acting
and
like
it's
a neutral.
Nothing about. Yeah, he's talking like
Yeah,
a
talking
neutral.
like a neutral.
Like, it should be an exciting
Yeah, it
game.
should be a good
He's
game.
like,
Might get a
anything-
takeaway,
anything-
yeah.
Anything could.
Might get a
He's
just
like-
eat.
He's like anything could happen. He's like anything could happen. Could be a And I'm like,
Nah,
I'm
no,
like,
do you know what I mean?
why don't you? And I'm thinking,
He's
Man
done
United's
it.
got a big staff group. Is there no one in the media team that's like, he's not doing press conferences well? Is no one decent?
I'll never
That's what I
forget.
don't
I'll
get.
never forget when Van Gaal was doing a madness. Giggs just distanced himself.
They're singing Louis Van Gaal's
know,
Army.
And you know what? I used to cuss. I used to make fun of what's his name? Neil Warnock's interviews, because he used to be the happy-go-lucky. Like they'll lose 3-0. They'll lose 3-0.
He's like,
and he'll be like,
Gil
he's
for the
the
Simpsons.
worst.
yeah, he'll lose 3-0, and he'll be like,
exactly happy to be in the Premier League.
it could have been 5. He's like, I'm not
Fantastic performance
Just
for the
happy to
boys.
be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, yeah.
Tried so hard, they.
And I'm like-
the fight.
And Ollie has beaten this as being the worst
Wait,
I've seen
talking
at
about-
press conferences.
talking about-
I've never seen anything worse.
Talking about Giggs, you see his stupid comments about Pogba.
What did he say?
Because I think he put Instagram up saying the best way to start 2020, and it was like a prayer from an imam or something like that. And he was saying, "Oh, it's ridiculous. He should be, the best way to start the year should be playing for Man United or something like that." And everyone was just like, Giggs like, "Oh yeah."
Moving on swiftly.
No, man's
Moving on
man's
swiftly.
acting like everything's his life.
Moving on swiftly.
Yeah.
What's the fixtures?
Let's talk about the fixtures, right? Because I think this could be the first game that Liverpool lose this season. Got Spurs.
Look at that.
Spurs versus Liverpool. I think this is where Jose's going to give Klopp his first L. Yeah, mate. This Saturday.
What, Tottenham Spurs?
Oh.
No, Tottenham and Liverpool. No.
Yeah.
Liverpool winning that, mate.
You reckon?
2-1 Liverpool, man. Tottenham.
No, it'll be a draw, that game.
Oh, this week's Premier League.
Yeah, I was about this week's Premier League. Yeah,
In 5 days.
Isn't it 4? Ain't it 4, Geezer?
No, it'd be
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Tuesday.
Saturday.
Hey!
5 days. 5 sleeps.
No, that's,
talking about-
that's 4 days. That's 4 days.
In 4 days.
It's 4 days because this is Tuesday,
Can we
apparently.
just talk about the
Alright.
fixtures? I actually do think that Liverpool are going to lose that one because they can't go. I don't think.
You are dumb. You are
I
dumb.
don't think they're gonna. I just
Hey,
back
is that Spurs' home ground, though?
Mourinho. You know, it's like, but Harry Kane's injured. I'm like, yeah, but I back Mourinho.
Yeah, they just drew away to Middlesbrough. They had pretty much a full.
Do you know what?
team
Do you know
out.
what? Do you know what?
Middlesbrough struggling
Do you know what?
in that
Do you know
league
what?
as well,
Today,
you know.
this round of
wouldn't
games
know.
is going to be mad, you know. Some of the fixtures in this round is nuts.
This
Palace,
round.
yeah, round of
Oh,
games.
this is-
Round of games, sorry,
round
round
of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saved it, though, innit? Don't try it. Palace, Arsenal. Yeah, that's hard. That's a big game. And Leicester, Southampton. I'm looking.
I'm going to that still. I'm with
Bro,
Arsenal.
every time you play Palace, there's smoke somewhere.
Not this time, there isn't. You're going to see Arteta
Hey,
ball.
what, are you taking a beret with you to Southampton away?
Massive beret. It's not even a beret. The dumbest thing is not even a beret, isn't it? It's not even a beret.
Let me readjust it.
Get a little moustache.
Hey,
It's a bit hot in it. You know, I can't be in the
Leicester,
heat too much. We've got to wrap it up still.
Leicester, Southampton.
Rumours. Seriously. Did I have to leave that?
Right,
Did we
guys,
go to
guys,
we
can
went
we-
to Michael Dapper's
No, no,
party
no.
and I had to
Oh, that
leave
was so
early.
funny. He was like, I can't go in there, it's too hot.
Is that what he said?
Right, leave a comment to say if you think Joel has had a transplant. Say yes or no in the comments. Go on, read
He's
out
already
the
told
Did
everyone.
that really happen?
Rumours.
rumours.
Rumour
It's funny though, 'cause I was going to talk about this Grealish move. I was going to talk about Madison move.
It's all rubbish.
But I can't even be.
Not gonna
getting
happen.
hot.
Bro,
It's getting hot.
Alright, listen.
No, no,
do you know what I'm
it's
saying?
Listen.
I don't even listen to transfer speculation anymore, man.
listen.
I don't read
Comments
any
are
of
going to
that.
be like, Joe ended the podcast early because his hairline was too hot.
Alright, just before you
True
get me
story.
go into the fixtures, number 2 in the Cheekysport Fantasy League. Have some of that, mate.
Alright, make
Have
sure
some
you-
of that.
Where am I?
Sure
I need
that-
to check still.
I don't know, mate.
What is
That
it?
was a fantasy check.
Yeah?
The fantasy check.
Yeah, because he's number 2 in the
In the
league still.
Cheekysport League, yeah.
How many people
Where
in the
are
league?
you in the cheese?
It's like 1,000. It's like 1,000.
Is there 1,000 in the league? 1,000
I
people
don't
in the
even know
league.
if I put out a team.
Oh, look, bro, you didn't put out a team.
3,000 in the world, mate. That's me. That's me.
That's big,
Oh,
though.
3,000 in the
That's
world?
serious, man.
Yeah, my housemate's number 25 in the world.
Wow.
Mad. Anyway, let's get on to the fixtures.
25 in the
Just
world.
before I
you
let
know.
you guys know, I'm not a football fico. Yeah, cheers.
All right, so let's just do some predictions. I'm gonna we'll run through the fixtures. This quick prediction thing, yeah. All right, Palace Arsenal. What's gonna happen?
Palace win.
Yeah, I think Palace win 2-0.
3-0.
2-0.
Zaha
Zaha
Akeem
double.
says that and he looks in
Nah,
my eye.
1-0.
No, because
He's trying to trick you.
Yeah, I swear.
You guys,
He
you
says
guys,
it. No,
for some
no,
reason,
it's
you
gonna
lot
be a-
don't
no, it's gonna
like
be a-
sellers.
1-0,
2-0.
1-0.
2-0.
1-0.
You lot don't like
1-0.
sellers.
2-0.
1-0
Right.
draw. Yeah.
2-0.
Yeah.
Chelsea
Yeah.
Burnley.
2-1.
They flip flop.
2-1.
Chelsea flip flop.
Chelsea always
Burnley been
2-1 Chelsea.
I reckon Burnley could get a result.
Yeah,
still.
that's what I'm thinking
And a
still.
cool
Nah, but
1-0.
you don't like Chelsea. Every result.
Like I've been saying.
Chelsea still is 5-0. Frank is a failure.
No. I think Frank Lampard's sick, but I just reckon that they'll get found out this weekend. 1-0. They lost to Southampton at home, mate. Come on, mate.
But they win one, lose one, win one, lose one.
Yeah, 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1
Yeah, I'm going to say
Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea.
I'm
All
going for Burnley still.
Everton, Brighton. This new bounce has got to kick in now still.
I'm saying Brighton.
2-0 Everton. 2-0 Everton.
No, I'm going for Brighton
Everton.
still.
Nah,
It's can't.
My man,
I'm
what's his
on
name?
Potter's
Jaik
side.
Yeah.
He's going to score an overhead kick and cry.
It's Carlo out if he loses.
Jaik
mate.
is rude, you know. My man, yeah, if you know how emotional it was for him to score and cry, and this guy's making jokes.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying
Who
you're
you talking
crying
about?
it.
Who?
That guy like that. We
No,
can't
no,
really say his name.
on a real, it was sick. He seems like such a nice guy as well.
Who are you talking about?
The guy, the Iranian brother
Iranian
for
brother that
Britain.
scored, yeah.
Britain, Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's
All right,
doing his thing, man. Big up him.
Leicester versus Southampton. Remember, last time out, this is 9-0.
Southampton are doing well at the moment.
This is 9-0 last time out.
Yeah, no, I'm going for Southampton still.
What,
Yeah,
winning away from home against Leicester?
Revenge, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
bro,
no,
come on.
listen.
That's how the
Do you know
Premier
why I
League
say
works.
that?
This is why I laugh. This is why I
That's how
laugh.
the
This is why I
Premier
laugh.
League
Let me tell you something,
You never showed us
let me tell you,
no.
no. Do you know? Let me tell you something, Akeem. Yeah? I always put myself in the shoes of a player. If I got slapped 9-0 home or away,
And this time you
I'm
get slapped
playing
3-0.
no, I am coming back, bro. You gotta come back with a
But that
vengeance.
could work against you, though.
You're going
It
to
could
say,
work against
last
you.
time it was 9, this time it was 3.
Yeah, they were celebrating in the change
In
room.
4
man.
days,
Champagne and that.
in 4 days, we'll know the results. And he can come back.
Oh, my days. This guy.
He can come back to
Man
me.
United versus Norwich. This should be a 5-0 slapping. Or
Man,
4-0
Norwich.
slapping.
Yeah, you lot will win this.
1-1.
1-1, yeah, probably.
No,
Yeah,
no.
1-1 still.
3-1 United. 3-1.
1-1.
3-1 United.
Bro, if we don't win that
I swear,
game.
if I see any Cantwell dance moves at Man Stadium,
I hope he scores. He's in my team, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
I heard you lot are going for him in that United.
Yeah, Man United's going for everyone. Going for Longstaff as well.
Yeah, long stuff, you know.
Man United go for everyone.
Which
You know,
one?
the funny thing is,
Both of
the
them.
funny thing is, I think the Man United scout staff would be like, "Oh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah,
Oh, we
probably.
bought the wrong one."
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
But we're dead.
When he turns up, it's like, "Wait, no, I swear, oh no,
Got the wrong
got
one.
the wrong one."
Like, anyway, so
Newcastle game
Wolves
next,
versus
actually.
Newcastle, yeah. No one knows about this result, innit?
Yeah.
2-1
But-
Wolves. 2-1.
I think Wolves will win, yeah. I think Wolves will win. 2-0.
Nah, no.
And the final, the game of the day, Tottenham versus Liverpool.
Spurs win 3-2.
I reckon 2-1 Liverpool.
So you're saying Liverpool's now taking the L, so they're not going to be invincible then? That's what you're
No,
saying.
I said that's what I said. I said they're not going to be invincible.
2-1
I don't believe they'll have an
What about the
invincible
Sunday
season.
games?
Bro, if Liverpool lose, then the gap could be down to what?
Oh,
Twelve-
Akeem, stop
huh?
it, man.
Bro, you got to ask the
Go to the
question.
next, go to the
They
next,
lost
go
the
to the next,
game.
go to the next.
Oh, my days. All right, no, 2 more quickly. Bournemouth, Watford.
Don't care.
You gotta do Jaik's one. You man don't ever
No,
give
don't
him
say
his
that. I don't want
You
Bournemouth
can't
to go
say that.
down.
No,
I don't want
What's
Bournemouth
your
to go
next
down.
fixture?
Bro, they got 11,000 capacity. Go back to the
Nah, put
championship.
respect on them. Put
no,
respect on
no,
Callum
no.
Wilson. Put
11
respect on Callum Wilson.
That's a
I
rave.
can't believe-
That's a rave. That's not.
Jaik,
That's not a
Jaik,
football game. That's a
Grammar
rave.
police. You're supposed to say, come back to the championship,
I
not
know.
go back.
No, we're going up, mate. So, but at Bournemouth, it's a rave. It's not a football game.
Nah, respect
That's
it.
how small it
All
is.
right,
It's a
Jaik.
rave.
Nah,
All right.
Why are you so salty about it?
What's your
He's like,
prediction?
I've done
What's your
2
prediction
gigs
for your
bigger
next?
than that capacity.
What's
What's
up?
your ne- what's
We
your
got
next?
Hull City away. I reckon 2-0 for them.
All right, final
The
game.
Tigers. The Tigers.
Final Premier League game, Villa versus City. This is going to be goals still. Because Villa just play open.
Villa are gonna get
4-1 Man City.
smashed.
It's going to be like,
4-1 Man City.
Yeah,
Grealish
Villa
to
get
get a goal.
smashed.
but-
Yeah. You know them ones there.
My
Hey,
guy
Grealish
Grealish.
to score,
He's
brother.
hard though.
Or
Is he
assist.
good enough for
Hey,
Man United?
he's from your
Is he
neck
good
of the
enough for
woods,
Man
isn't he?
United?
bro, everyone's good.
Hey,
enough
he's
for Man
from
United
your
right now.
neck of the woods. Peaky Blinders. Yeah? Was it Birmingham?
Bro, it's
Small
alright.
leaf.
Peaky
Small
Blinder.
leaf.
Listen, this is what I'm talking about.
Oi, my name's Cheekysport Joel.
I'm a Peaky Blinder.
I'm a Peaky
It's all
Blinder.
rumours. It's all rumours. Hey, Akeem,
Boy, Jermaine,
quick
get the
question,
shotgun.
yeah? Is that an old shirt?
Uh,
It is, isn't it? Or is it fake?
Not, it's real, you donut.
Nah, I can't.
Hey,
That man is supposed to have 2 stars, isn't it?
Oi, that feels a bit
You've
dodgy.
only got 1 star.
I think it came out last year.
Oh.
Why does that matter?
And on that note,
Hey, what's
You
it?
mean
It's
with
like
myself, Big J?
the whole podcast
Oi,
like,
oi,
hey, 'cause
oi,
I
if
seen
you
it
did
there,
you
man.
want- if you wore his hat and he had that stripy shirt, you look like one of them French painters.
No, my word.
You been here with
Sacre
myself, Big
bleu.
J?
Yeah, Cheekysport Akeem.
Sacre bleu, Jaik.
2020. Cheekysport Joel.
4 days.